But I think I'm gonna start with the axles first. I noticed that with these axles, they did not give me any of the paper gaskets. So I'm just gonna hope and pray that that these don't need it, and they're not gonna do all that clicking and stuff, binding, that the other ones was doing. Got your grub screws and your bearings. All that's right here. So I think each bearing is gonna, each axle is gonna have 4 little bearings. The big bearings are for the hubs. Put all that right there. I'm gonna put the bearings out, but I'm gonna leave like the screws and the grub screws in this magnetic tray. By the way, this magnetic tray I got from Harbor Freight. You can get them with a coupon, which what I did. They like, what, 89 cents, something like that. And it helps. Yep. So I can go ahead on and put these in here. One goes in the front, one goes in the back. Now, to see, the last time this wasn't painted. I don't know whether it's going to be a problem this time, but these things used to be, unpainted in the inside, and, it helps with clearances and stuff. But, man, I hope I'm showing that to y'all. But let's see if they'll fit. Oh, yeah, they go in there no problem. Yeah, even though it's painted in the inside, that went in there no problem. It come right out. And it looks like it's seated all the way in there, I think. So, but they come out. See how they go in the front. In the front, it's a little tighter fit, but it still fits pretty good. They don't come out. That one's a little tighter, but yep, pop right in there, no problem. Let's see. Looks like it's seated in there pretty good. We're gonna see when it's time to put these axles together. So this kit is about $100. So don't expect the quality, or don't expect the I won't say quality, but don't expect the what's it called, the quality control, the QC. Don't expect that kind of level from like if you was dealing with like Traxxas or something like that. Like, don't expect that. It's gonna be some parts that may not fit, great. But like I say, man, when you're starting out, like I'm starting out doing it, I don't want to spend all that money on a kit, right off the bat. I don't really want to do that. Me myself, I like to find a good deal. I like bargains. That makes me feel good to find something that's gonna satisfy my needs and be a good bargain at the same time. So what I'm doing right here is kind of getting the paint off the. You don't have to take it all the way off the inside, but you do need to take it off these little nubs right here. That helps. So I'm just taking a little needle nose pliers right here and just putting a little pressure on it and just getting that paint off of there, and you'll see, I'll show it to you. And that just helps it seat a little bit better when it's going in. Let me get up so I can show you. See that? So that's one I haven't done. That's one I have done. So you're just getting a little paint off of there so it'll slide in the hole a little bit better. So I'm thinking about doing another video since I just started in this hobby. I'm going back and forth. I'm not sold on one niche or whatever you want to call it. I like to bash with my big rock, and I like to crawl with these little crawlers. I'm gonna end up getting me another crawler though, because I like to crawl. It's fun to me, and I don't need a big open space to do it. So I'm gonna do another video, and I'm gonna share with you guys why I like each one of those, why I like to bash, and why I like to crawl. And if you're thinking about getting in the hobby, you know, and you following me, you following my journey, it might be one you like more than the other, but I don't want you to count one out, because bashing is that's like the most popular, seems like it to me. And you know, everybody wants a fast RC car, everybody wants one fast, you know, especially those that's not already in the hobby. A lot of times, well, it seems like you find crawling once you already in the hobby. You know what I'm saying? People get in the hobby, they buy themselves a little buggy or something like that. That's usually the first thing you buy. It seems like. I keep saying that because, like I say, I'm new to it. I've only been doing this for a few months. And, you know, I was always, you know, you always hear, okay, don't get a kit if you've never done a kit before. But to me, I understand what you're saying, but it don't really make sense to me, because how else you supposed to do a kit if you've never done one? If you've never done one, how you gonna do one if you don't get a kit? And to me, like, this is the best way to get a little kit, unless you get like a little bashing kit, but I haven't seen none. These kits are really inexpensive. You get a plastic one. This one costs $100, but you can get the one that costs $50 and just practice making kits. And you don't have to spend $300, $400, $500 on a kit and you mess it up, or, you know what I'm saying, it's confusing to you or something like that. You know, it's kind of good that these parts don't go together as well as you would like them to. It's kind of good and it's kind of bad, but it's good because when you have a problem like that, you can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? If it kind of forces you to figure out how to make it work, you know. I got the instructions up in front of me, but like I say, you know, it kind of makes you think. And that's part of the therapy. You know, it's part of why I hashtag RC for PTSD. And you know, that's part of this is what I do for therapy. This is what I do when I need to focus on something, when I need my you know, some time with myself or something like that. You know, it's fun to me and it's relaxing. You know, it makes you think. A lot of times you have problems. I'm not quite sure what the word is for it, but a lot of times you have problems focusing on things, and this has been helping me with that. It might not help everybody, but it's helping me with it. Can y'all see that? Let me see. Y'all can't even see what I'm doing. Let me back up. Is that good? All right. Let's put that up. I ain't cutting open no bags right now. So, and I can sit here and take my time. And the reason why I'm doing these axles first is a couple of reasons. the first time I watched somebody build one of these things was David at Run That RC. He has quite a few of these little machines, and he's really good at building them. He's got a good following on his YouTube channel and on Instagram. Shout out to David at Run That RC. So let's get that together. So I like doing the axles first because that's the way I saw him do it. So I saw him do the axles first, and that's the way I'm going to do it. And then maybe after that, then I'll go with the instructions. But I built, this is the third kit, so I kind of know what it needs and how to build the axles. And if not, then I'll figure it out. So the shorter axle goes to the front. I had that backed up or reversed, but the shorter axle goes on the front axle. This is the front axle with the two little wings on it, because that's where your hubs are gonna go. This is the rear axle. Long axle goes to the rear. So first thing you're gonna put on, I'm gonna do, you know what, let me do the front axle first, because that's the hardest that's the hardest axle to do, honestly. So you got your center gear right here you're gonna put on. And my mistake that I did the first time I did it, you know, I was supposed to Loctite everything. I wasn't really, you know, I was paying attention to what David was saying, and you know, I was a little mixed with David and a few other people. And then I went to wplrc and watched his videos. But I'm gonna be out of luck if I need those shims, because I don't have none. It's in another order, which is coming. I don't know where it's at. It's probably still in China. But I'm gonna be out of luck if I need those shims. Hopefully I don't, though. So get you a little grub screw, and we're not gonna put no Loctite on it yet. We're just gonna put it in there to hold it in place. It's a 1.5, 1.5 hex. And man, like these are not, this is not the best hex driver. But if you can get a hex driver, man, this will make your life a whole lot easier than using the little Allen wrenches, because that's what I was using the first time. And those Allen wrenches will strip these doggone grub screws so fast, man, it's stupid. So let's just start that in there. We don't need to, you know, see it's still got some play. That's where you want it. All right. So now that we got that on there, we're gonna put on the 4 ball bearings. And that's another thing. This kit comes with metal, brass gears, you know, metal shaft, metal ball bearings, you know, metal housings. This is the metal kit for $100, man, with a really nice FJ body. So I feel like, you know, if you're into like model cars and stuff like that, man, I think you'll like this kit, or the kits that, all the kits they have, really. I think you like them because they got a lot of detail to them. They look real good. And on top of that, they're RC cars. So, you know, this kit doesn't come with any electronics like most kits do. I mean, most kits don't come with electronics. But you can get their electronics for like $35, something like that. Doesn't come with electronics, but it does come with your it does come with your motor. I showed you already. It does come with your motor and a 2-speed transmission, metal drive shafts. You're good to go. for cheap, for little or no money. How could you not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be so bougie to where you acting like you can't deal with that. So let's put that in here. They got spots for the bearings, one there, and the other ones are gonna rest right inside these little crevices right there. And you want to make sure that it's on the flat side. The back side of this brass gear is on the flat side where the axle sits. I mean the housing axle, the axle housing. All kind of gummed up today. So you'll notice where they go. Right in there. Okay. Let's focus. Come on. All right. So there you go, right in there. And she's going to spin real nice. And you see how it's close to that? But that's why you leave your grub screw kind of loose, so you can give yourself some room. Now she's going to spin real free. All right. So that's where you want her at. But don't tighten it down yet. So put the top part on here. So make sure she still turn free. All right. So as long as she turn free, you should be good. So you want to adjust that. Make sure she still turn free. And put a little pressure on this part, because you want to simulate like if the screws were in here. Put a little pressure on it. Make sure she still turn free. Okay. So I think we should be good. Just make sure she's all the way in there. Yep. Look at that. Spinning real good. All right. So at this point, I'd leave that alone and put the bearings in this part of the housing. One goes in the front. And I wish they would stop painting that part. Because it's kind of like the clearance is not good. All right, but no problem there. Just get you like a little X-Acto knife or something like that and kind of like scrape some of the paint away. This is what I was talking about, like when things don't quite go like you want them. You know, you can figure things out. Problem solving, right? And it's good for kids, it's good for grown people, obviously. And you don't have to spend a whole lot of money, man. Like, that's my whole thing. I don't want to have to spend a whole lot of money. Everybody don't have money like that. And even if you do have money like that, you might be like me and just don't want to spend it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to be spending frivolous amounts of money. At least not yet on my hobby. Not yet. Don't tell my wife, y'all. Don't tell Mary. I'm just playing. Anyway, so got some of that scraped out. You can't really see that good in there. But anyway, you get what I was saying. I just went in there, get it together. I just went in there and went all the way around there and just kind of scraped it out. Now try not to gouge it because this is like aluminum. Try not to gouge it out. Just scrape the paint off. And she should, I need to stop kicking y'all, huh? She should drop right in there. Now, did I just lose a bearing? I hope not. I think I misplaced one. So, drops right in there. And I'm gonna pause for a second. Oh, nope, don't have to, because I just found it. So we're gonna put one inside of there. I'm gonna try to bring you guys in closer while I'm doing this tedious work. All right, that might be a little bit better. So that's the ball bearing. I want to show y'all. It's right in there. Okay. So it dropped out, but it's one on both sides. Okay. As you see, this side doesn't have any paint on it. That's good. So we're going to take one of these gears and put it on the inside. Okay. Goes in there just like that. So let's put this gear with this axle, and you'll notice there's a side that's has a little bit more room than the other, and that's going to be going toward the gear there. So that's how it's going to look without the top piece, you know. And there we go, we're spinning it like that. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to set this mesh, and then we're going to lock that grub screw down, and we still not going to Loctite it. Now you can Loctite it if you want to once you do that, but I ain't going to do it yet. I'm going to wait till I get everything in there like I want it to be, and then I'm going to Loctite. Because the last time I did that, I Loctite too early and couldn't get the doggone grub screw back out, and end up having an axle that I really couldn't use. And then I end up having to drill the grub screw out like a big dummy. Let's tighten that grub screw down just a tad bit. And let's put our plate on this side and sandwich them together. All right. So, yeah, not getting any binding. Seems okay. So get your drive shaft components out. Separate everything into like components. That's what I like to do. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna work with this end right here. You're gonna put one of these little jokers in there right there. See if you can see that. You're gonna put that through here, like that. It's not gonna stay in there at first, but put that in there, and then you're gonna line it up. It's gonna be a little hole. See that little hole right there? Okay. And you're gonna let me see if I remember. You're gonna take that and put it into the cup. Okay. And then you're gonna take a pin. You're gonna take a pin and put it through this hole, and it's gonna line up with the hole in that the pin that you just dropped in there, and it's gonna go all the way through. Okay, so if you can see, pin is going all the way through. Okay, once you got it all the way through like that, you're gonna take the little retainer clip like that, and you're gonna slide it over the cup and just push it down into the little groove. Easier said than done, right? But that's it. Okay, you do that with all 4 sides. Okay, so let's finish this axle. Let's put the ends on the CV axles. I mean the CV joints. Look at that, and you even get CVs, constant velocities, instead of the dog bones. You want to make sure that these are not pushed so far in that this is going to interfere with the movement of your CV joint. So like when I push it in, see how it pokes out right there? It's kind of hitting right there. So you want to kind of back it off a little bit. That way it's not going to hit. I wish this thing would focus. But anyway, you know what I mean. Lock it down. That's it. Now, don't go crazy with the tightening. Don't go crazy because you're going to strip. This is brass and that's a steel grub screw. So don't go crazy because you will strip it. Ask me how I know. Now, run that RC. He likes to put marine grease in his, but I don't feel like messing with that right now. So I'm gonna just use the regular little grease that WPL gives you. And just put a little bit on there. I ain't gonna put a whole lot. About that much. Come on, ball bearings. You know, I don't think it needs a whole lot. So I don't put a whole lot. Let's cover that up. All right. Now we really gonna see whether this thing gonna spin good once I put these screws in there. Yep, it's good. So I'm gonna cinch these down. Test it again. It's a little crunchy, but I think that will go away over time. It's not binding. It's got a little tight spot in there. So what you can do is just kind of either go around and cinch them down some more or back them off, because they might just need to be backed off. And that's okay if you have to back them off. That's okay. I don't think that's a big deal. That's turning real good. It's going to go toward the front because this is where your steering linkage is going to go. So just push that through there like that. And they should line up really nice with the holes. See, that's the holes. Okay. So if you got your bearings in there right, it should slide right up in there. And the hole should line up. You can't really see, but the hole should line up. And you got these little brass bushings right here that's gonna go on the top and the bottom, in between the cup and the screw, right there. All right, so that's where you want your brass bushings to go. So it should be these screws right here. They're machine screws because they're going in the middle. Okay, don't tighten it down yet, just put it in there. Okay, and then line the other side up. Brass bushing, screw, dab of Loctite. So just tighten them down to where your steering moves freely, so that bearing don't want to seat all the way down. But that's all right. We know what we got to do. See, it's got a little gap in there. That bearing needs to seat all the way back. Okay, so I took some more off of that, sanded it down a little bit more. And so now the ball bearing goes on there a lot easier, and it sits all the way down. So let's try it again and see. Okay, we don't have that bind that it was doing before. Let's see. Oh, look at that. See, that's what I'm talking about. Problem solving. Put that bearing in there. Press that in there. Boom. And now the front axle is done. Jesus. But I tell you what, it really feels good when you can fix it. Put our bearings in there whilst we get our bearings together. Get our bearings among us. There's these clearances I told y'all about. Don't sweat it though, because she's gonna be all right. But these are pretty straightforward. You don't have to worry about CV axles or nothing like that. You can just put them on, and they should go on without a hitch. This one, man, I wish I could have got some of those paper shims. Maybe I can make a paper gasket with these little back plates. I mean, these little pieces right here. Well, I don't know if y'all can hear that, boy, but where I live, ever since I guess the holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving holiday, something like that last year, 2020. There's somebody, I don't know whether they had a mud pit back there or something going on back there, but they got somebody got some serious motor going on back there, and it seemed like they just be revving it wide open. Okay, the reason why I took off the paint right here is because I want the screws to sit flush. That's our little paper gasket that we made. So I was just about to put this away for the night, and come back to it in the morning since I got these axles squared away. But I just wanted to let you guys know one thing. The steering rack needs to be 100 millimeters from end to end, from this end to end. And what I did was I just, started screwing down. I got a little cheapy little caliper here. Put it at 100 meters, and there you go. That's important because that's going to be your steering geometry and all that stuff like that. You need to check, and there it is. So they got each of the measurements on there for the panhard bar, steering rack, and the chassis links for the upper and the lower links. So you need to, don't just guess, because I did that before.